This is an explanation on HSK1 test, just to know a little bit better about the exam and the different parts it has, okay? So the main point here, we have many, like this one, many mock tests throughout the internet. I've been collecting some of them, and you can find them in this web page. So that way, if you want to practice a little bit before the HSK1 exam, you will find here in the remarks section, you can also find this web page, and you can practice a little bit. For the HSK1, we have two different parts. The first one is Hingli, which is the listening part, and the second one is Yue2, which is the reading comprehension part. The listening part has 20 questions, more or less 15 minutes, but this is according to the audio file. So they play the audio file and we cannot stop it, okay? So if there is not any technical problem, they will be playing this audio file up to the end. So this we cannot change. This is the fixed time, but then we have 3 minutes, and it is explained here, to write the answers, because this is just a brochure we use during the exam to answer the questions, but this is not valid to answer for the exam. So we need a special answer sheet, and according to this, you can find it also in this web page if you want, okay? If you want to see the answer sheet, and we need to write there the solutions to all the questions, okay? So we have here, after the listening part, 3 minutes to write the answers, and then in the reading comprehension part, we don't have any extra time to do so, so please careful with that, okay? And the reading part, we have 20 questions, 17 minutes. So this is a fixed time, so we have to be careful to have enough time to complete all the questions for the exam. Let's review a little bit every single exercise. The first part, we have the listening part, the listening activities. For example, the first listening activity we're finding here, there are these 5 questions. We're going to listen to some expressions in Chinese, and we have to decide if these expressions, according to the pictures, are true or false. So, for example, we have 2 examples here. We need to say if what we are hearing is related to the picture or not. Okay, so different pictures. For example, we have someone here who wants to eat an apple, and some people speaking, and so on. So according to what we hear, we need to complete this. The second part, in the listening part of the exam, we are given 3 different answers. And according to what we hear, we need to choose which answer is the correct one. For example, the first exercise here, the example they're using, if we heard shu, which means books, okay, so we need to choose A, okay, and so on. So this one is not very difficult, as we are not going to hear to a lot of words. So we just need to control the vocabulary for HSK1 test. And then the third part in the listening part of this exercise is this one. I want to show you the whole, because we have here 6 different pictures, but we only have 5 questions. Why? Because one of these pictures, letter C, it is used for the example. So my recommendation to you and for every student, Chinese student I have, it is that they delete this, they write something on, just to know that we cannot use this picture, okay? Picture letter C. Because many times during the exam, some students have this problem. So to avoid this, if you have this tradition, just to write something on, and you know we cannot use this one, this is something that will help you to avoid this kind of silly mistakes, okay? So here we're going to listen to dialogue, small dialogue, and according to the dialogue, we need to judge which one of the pictures is the correct, is the picture related. The problem we have in this kind of exercises is that sometimes we understand that maybe one picture could be related to more than one dialogue. So my recommendation to you, as this is like a puzzle, please finish. If you have some doubts, okay, you can write here letter A and D, okay? But if you finish up to 15, you will realize that all the pictures with all the dialogues must match. So at the end, you will understand which one goes with each one. Okay, so if you have some doubts, don't worry, go to the last question in this section, and you will probably understand much better how these questions, how these dialogues match with the pictures, okay? So let's go to the next one, next part here. we have 3 possible answers, and we need to choose, according to the dialogues we're going to hear, which one is the correct, okay? So HSK1 doesn't have this problem a lot, but if you're on HSK2, we have to be careful. Why? Because maybe you are listening to more than one of the words, okay? 2 or 3 of them. So it's not just what you hear, but you need to understand what are you being asked, because according to the question, you need to choose the right answer, okay? So this is the difficulty here. Sometimes there are some expressions that are more or less very similar, so we need to check this, okay? So this is the listening parts, not very difficult, and HSK1, if you know the vocabulary and have practiced a little bit, okay? So this one can be easy to do. Then we enter the second part. This is the reading part, and here we have a very similar exercise to this first listening exercise, but the difference here is that we need to decide if this picture is related to this word. For example, here we have woman, and the word here is 请, please, or to invite somebody. So if we can see this picture, her attitude is like inviting somebody to do something. So we can say that this one is correct, okay? And so on. For example, second one, 儿子 means son, but we have a girl here. So this one is incorrect, and so on, okay? So this is not very difficult if you know these words, the vocabulary, HSK1 vocabulary list. Next part, here we have, again, some pictures, 6 pictures, but the same. I told you this before in the listening part. Please, we cannot use letter E because this is used for the example. So remember to erase this one. We cannot use this one. So make a signal wherever, just to know we cannot use this one. And the rest is not very difficult, as we can see here. For example, number 26. 我们今天吃米饭怎么样? What about today? We eating rice. And if you realize, we only have letter C with rice here. So we in this case, we will choose letter C. Okay. Now the next part, third part of the exercise. Here you have this section. We have on the left some questions, on the right some answers. This is something I counsel my students to do, which is to draw a line here, just to make clear that here on the left we have the questions, here on the right we have the answers. Otherwise it's a little bit confusing. And remember again, letter F here, it is used for the example, so we cannot use it. Okay, so for example, 你会写多少个汉字? If we realize, according to this, the answer would be 很多, a lot. Okay, how many different Chinese characters can you write? A lot. So according to this, we need to choose the right answer according to the questions. And the last part, here we need to fill in the blanks. Again, we are using letter D for the example, so remember that we cannot use this one. And apart from that, it's not very difficult. For example, number 36, 他的女儿现在在火车站工作. Okay, if you realize we have different words here, so the important part here is to know well the vocabulary in the HSK1 vocabulary list. Okay, again, if you know this vocabulary, HSK1 test is not going to be very difficult. And also very important to know a little bit about the grammar. For example, here in this 36 question, 他的女儿现在在火车站工作. Here we have subject with the possessive, okay? We have the time, 现在. We have 在火车站, which is the place, and then the verb to work. So we need to learn this grammar. Although some people say, well, you learn the vocabulary list and that's all. No, you need to first know the vocabulary. This is very important. Second, to know the main grammar points. This is very important also, because that way you will understand how Chinese structure work. And the last part, to do some practice, to do some mock tests in order to be ready for these texts. Please, you can also visit here in this webpage, because here you will find some mock texts, some grammar points, more information on HSK1, HSK2, and other levels exam.